Hello everyone, my name is Owen. Welcome to The Shield Shows You How to Tie Fishing Knots. So today I'm going to show you the only three knots you're ever going to need for bass fishing, and that's a snell knot, Palomar knot, and an Alberto knot. So the first one is the most simple, and that is the Palomar knot. This is going to be anything connecting something to your line. So that could be connecting a jig, it could be connecting a crankbait, a hook, anything. So the Palomar knot, by far the easiest knot you can tie. So with the Palomar, you're going to start by doubling your line over like this, get it to a nice loop right there, and then you're going to pinch that loop down and go through the eye of your bait with that loop. Once you have it through, even it out on both sides. So it's like that, your line should be doubled over. Then you're going to take that loop and you're going to act like you're tying an overhand knot with it. So you're going to go around and then back through with that loop. So now you've got your loop. It's knotted over, but it's not pulled tight yet. So then you're going to come back around the back of your bait like this, pull your bait through that big loop, make sure it gets up like that. Then you're going to wet your line, and then you can cinch it down tight. Now the big thing with the Palomar is you want to make sure that those threads are lying on top of each other and there's no cross hatching on that, because that will cause your line to be weaker. So that's the Palomar knot, by far the simplest knot you can tie for bass fishing. The next one I'm going to show you is the snell knot. This is a really specified knot for one technique in specific, and that's flipping heavy cover. So when you're using this knot, you're going to be using a big weight like this an ounce of tungsten, for punching thick grass, thick trees, stuff like that. So when you tie the snell knot, the purpose of it is when that weight comes down on the hook, when you set the hook, it's going to pop that hook up. So I'll show you how to tie the snell knot. So to start with this, I've got some 65-pound braid. I didn't mention on the other one, that was just some 15-pound fluorocarbon. So you're going to take your braid, get it through the eye of your hook. You're going to want to come from the front side. So going from your hook point back, you're going to come through there, and then you are going to make a loop. Make sure you have enough tag end back. So you're going to make your loop, then you're going to lay that loop down onto your line, or not onto your line, onto the shank of your hook, and then you have your tag end here, and you're going to wrap up. You're going to wrap it around your hook shank. You can do this anywhere from 4 to 10 times. I'm just going to do a few times here just to show you. So I've got it wrapped around 4 times. Then you can slide that up a little bit, because there is a little keeper at the top that will keep your snell knot in place. Then you're going to take your tag end that you've got here, and you're going to pull it back through your loop, lay that tag end down onto your hook shank. Make sure you got that loop there. Tag end is laid down on the hook shank, and then you're going to pull your main line tight. And there you go. You have a snell knot. So what that's going to do, you have your line coming from the back into the front. When you have that weight that lays down on there, it's going to pop that hook up and right into the roof of the fish's mouth. So that is your snell knot. Finally, you have probably the most complicated one, and this is the Alberto knot. So this is for tying 2 lines together. So here I've got some 30-pound braid tied to some 15-pound fluorocarbon. And this is if you're wanting to run braid to a floral leader, or if you're wanting to put backing onto your bait casting reel before you put down your braid, anything like that. So you're going to start with your fluorocarbon. I'm left-handed, so I put it on the left side over here, and you're going to make a loop in your fluorocarbon. Make sure that loop is big enough. Make sure you have a lot of slack. Then I just wrap this back over to make it easy so that loop doesn't come apart. Then you take your braid, and since that braid doesn't have any memory, it's a lot easier to use the braid as your wrapping line than it is for the fluorocarbon. So you're going to take your braid, you're going to go through the loop here, pull it up a little bit to give yourself a lot of this fluorocarbon down here, and pull your braid through. Make sure you have enough. Then you're going to take your braid and you're going to start wrapping down. So you're going to go down and around. You can do this up to like 10 times, and you're just going to wrap that fluorocarbon around, or wrap that braid around both pieces of fluorocarbon. So I'm going to come and I'm going to wrap around here. Keep wrapping. Make sure you're getting it around both pieces of the fluorocarbon, otherwise it does not work. You're going to keep wrapping that braid around. Keep wrapping it, keep wrapping it. Go one more wrap here. Then, once you've gotten it wrapped up enough, you can see I've got 6 or 7 wraps around there. This is why you want to make sure you had enough braid pulled through at the beginning, because you're going to take your braid and you're going to go back towards your loop. You're going to wrap it on top of your other wraps that you'd already done. You can do this like 4 to 6 times again, just whatever your line gives you. I'm kind of running on a line here, so I'll do like 4 or 5 times, wrapping back around. Now, this is the most important part of the knot right here. You have this braid that's coming through the eye here of your fluorocarbon, and you see how that braid is coming down. You want to make sure you're putting your tag end back through the way that it came, otherwise your knot will not work. So that braid is coming down, so I'm going to go through the top with my braid, pull it, and then take both ends and cinch them tight. There you go. You can cut your tag ends off like here. Get those tag ends cut off. And then you have your braid to fluorocarbon connection using the Alberto knot. This is a super strong knot, and it'll allow you to connect 2 lines together. So that was the Shield Shows You how to tie the 3 most important knots for bass fishing.